Shut up and sit down.
Let me take this again. I'm like, that sounded really condescending. I'm the one that does it.
I usually do the work.
No, I was like, yeah, that's not what I meant. Welcome back to another episode of the Bias Effect Podcast. It's me, Nikki.
It's me, QJ.
I'm really excited for this one because you've done like your own just complete deep dive into this band that I don't really know much about, so I'm really excited to like kind of hear about them. So I'll just give it all over to you.
We're gonna do a deep dive, deep-ish dive into Epik High today. Because I started getting into Epik High through YouTube because they have a YouTube show now, and they've had like Ateez on there, and they had Simon Pegg on there, and like so I was watching some of their show, and it was really funny. And I know that they're an older group, so I was like, I love my old groups. See where K-pop came from. So yeah, I did kind of like a bunch of research on them. They're not like as widely like public, I would say. So like there's three guys, and like the most is obviously going to be about Tablo. There's not a lot about the other two, but there's enough, and I do think they're interesting, and it's a totally different style of K-pop that like so from what we've gotten into. Like they're basically a hip-hop group, like period. They don't really do like K-pop music. But it's kind of fun because I noticed like some of these older groups will push back a little on the K-pop label, but Epik High is like, no, we're K-pop. They're like, we are K-pop, but they don't really, it's a different kind of music. And I do think that you would like it because it's like really incredible hip-hop music. And there were actually quite a few songs that reminded me of RM's albums.
Okay, well then you know what.
Like it was that kind of vibe, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, and we've been exposed to Tablo through Stray Kids a lot, actually. Now that I think of it, it's mostly Stray Kids. But anytime he does, like, a producing whatever collab with Stray Kids, it's an amazing song.
Yeah.
So I can imagine, like, You is one of my favorite songs, period. And that's featuring Tablo. And then I think, to go off our last episode where we were together watching Stray Kids. So we were together, in our same space, and we were watching a bunch of music videos. Megaverse, I think it's Megaverse. And we were watching it, and then literally at the end of the video, there's a guy that comes out, and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. I think that's Tablo, so we, like, went back, and we, like, paused it, and you were like, yeah, that's him. And then we watched the rest of the video, and literally at the end of the video, he, like, writes his name out, and we're like, oh. That's Tablo.
It is him.
So he's still seems like influential in the current K-pop days, current realm of K-pop, so.
The one thing I will say is a bit frustrating, like he does do a lot of producing, but you can't really find his credits anywhere. Like in one of their shows, he referenced being like one of the top credited artists, but I couldn't actually find that anywhere, so I think there's like a aspect of that crediting group that's like private, because I even tried using their website again, and I searched Tablo, and like 300 things came up, so I was like, either he has 300 credits or I still don't understand how this site works. But I know he does do like a lot of producing for other groups too, where he's like not even like in the song, he's just like straight up producing, making music for them. So like, yeah, he's incredible. He's a talented,
and I'm sure you'll get onto it too, but he's also Canadian a bit. He has a Canadian citizenship, I think. Yeah. Anyway, you'll get into it. But like, that was exciting.
Yeah, so I'll just start with some like general stuff. So they debuted in 2003, which makes them a second gen group. They were at a company called Woollim Entertainment for a bit, and then they went to YG Entertainment, which is a company I know, but I can't remember who's under there.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that, like, representation before.
But when their contract with YG ended in 2018, they founded their own label called Ours Co., and it's literally just them under the label. And they do all their own stuff. Like, they do their own merch, they do their own scheduling, like tours, they do all of that stuff. They just fully, like, self-contained company group type thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's pretty fun, I think.
Okay, yeah, it's kind of like reminds me of like Jackson, where he has just his own like everything production company. Quick research. YG currently represents Blackpink, so.
Okay, that's probably why.
So and Treasure, I've heard of that, but I don't know of them. And then former artists, like Epik High, but also Psy. And then Rose, Jenny, Lisa, Big Bang too, I guess, were former YGs. Okay. And so that's interesting. So they got some clout, I guess, as a company.
Yeah, I was like, I know this, but not enough to remember the groups. But yeah, that kind of makes sense. So yeah, well, they have their own company now, and they do their own thing. Okay.
Which is great. Hey, it's working for Jackson.
I mean,
so must be working for Epik High, okay?
I'll do my own Jackson research.
Oh yeah, we got
episode.
Future episode. We will have a Jackson episode. Don't
Got
Seven. Part 2 Jackson only. Yeah.
Yeah. So Epik High, 3 members. They have Tablo, obviously, which we talked about. They have DJ Two Cuts, and they have Mithra Jin. It's like within their company, like I guess Tablo covers like marketing, and he does a lot of like event organizing, especially international stuff, because he is like 100% fluent in English. DJ Two Cuts is in charge of their finances apparently, and their like concerts and schedules, and then Mithra Jin is in charge of merch.
Okay, that's so bonkers to me, girl. Like, not only are you like producing your music and doing everything, but like you're actually like running a company.
Like,
that's
it's like fully self-contained. It's crazy.
I don't know why, that just blows my brain. Like, I think about, I don't know, my regular job, and like imagine adding another job on top of that.
Yeah.
Hey, they must love what they do, but wow, that's impressive.
I mean, even if you think on top of that, they have like a consistent YouTube channel too, and like they go places for that. They do like different mukbang, and they have guests on, and they do all that kind of stuff. So it's like almost even like a third job.
Yeah, that's insane.
Just to have like YouTube content.
I mean, we've said this a lot, but a lot of these guys just never seem to stop, and that's just probably part of the personality. So it's a lot. So anyway, all to say, super impressive already. Like, I'm already impressed.
So so they got started. I guess Tablo and Mithra Jin met first, and they were part of the underground hip hop scene in Korea, which is fun. They were part of like this whole like collective of underground hip hop artists, and that's how they also met DJ Two Cuts through that. He is like he's like a legit DJ, does like turntables and like scratching and stuff, which was like
that's so
music.
Cool.
Yeah, that's like, pretty cool.
Like, legitimate DJ. We're not talking about this digital shit. He's
he's legit.
Deal.
Although apparently I have seen some stuff recently where he's like, I just use like audio clips now and stuff. He doesn't like do as much authentic scratching, but like whatever. He did start it, okay?
Experience. Do you think David Guetta has that experience? I don't actually know, but
I don't know.
You know.
So yeah, that's how they started. It's like underground movement. There was like some like kind of drama there, but it really honestly didn't matter in the long run. Like one of these underground guys like defrauded a bunch of members from this little group, so they split off as their own little 3-person team and like formed Epik High basically. And also worth noting, they did a lot of work in Hongdae. Ever heard of it?
Are we open-minded?
Yeah. And then I thought it was interesting, like they released 2 albums in 2003, 2004 that were like not successful at all. So they were releasing a 3rd album, and it's called Swan Songs, and it was supposed to be their last album to be like, guess it didn't work. And that is the one that like took off.
Interesting. Well, I guess you're putting everything on the line. You're like, this is it, and took off.
And it hit.
Nice.
It hit with a song called Fly, which I listened to and thought was fine. But it's from their 3rd album. And it ended up being featured in FIFA, one of the FIFA games as well. So
I always find that stuff so interesting when you hear about stuff like that, like of a band or anything, like we're just gonna go all out and like this will be our last chance or whatever, and that's when they it's like feels like destiny. Like it's like meant to happen at that point. So
I just pulled like some kind of notable things throughout their career because obviously they've been together for 22 years now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. But for their 10th anniversary, they released an album titled 420.
That's illegal over there. That's illegal.
I know. Well, they don't play by the rules, okay?
That's illegal.
I don't know if they never come out and say if they actually smoke.
Of course not. It's illegal.
Sort of reference it a bit, so I wouldn't really be surprised.
When did that come out? Sorry, or you didn't?
It was their 10th anniversary, so I guess 2013.
So that was also illegal in Canada at the time. That's illegal.
Well,
Bad Boys.
It's just a title.
Yeah. Can mean many things. Hitler's birthday as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway.
I also think maybe that might have also been the date that it came. It might have come out in April.
Well.
So it's like subtle, but still
legit.
They were the first Korean act to perform at Coachella.
Oh, I did not know that. That's
2016. Cool. Yeah. They weren't headliners, so that's why you see like
right.
Ateez being the first headliners, or like J-Hope being like the first headliner for Lollapalooza and stuff.
That's what I was wondering, because I've heard like a lot people say Blackpink too. It's like first K-pop group to but it was headline. Okay, well that's still really cool that they were like there.
Yeah, they just performed. But
they just performed. Okay.
Yeah. They've got 10 studio albums with 2 repackages, so 12 albums. 2 mini albums, 1 mixtape, 1 remix album, 3 special albums, 6 singles, and 5 OSTs. Plus 2 Japanese albums, a Japanese single, a Japanese collab, and a best of album. Okay. So keep that in mind when you listen. There's a lot to get through. They have a light stick. Like I said, they kind of lean into the K-pop thing. So when they started their own companies, when they started really like workshopping that K-pop stuff, it's a middle finger.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's like so many, like, you could go so many ways with that, like an FU to like the culture, but like kind of like a cheek, trying to kind of cheek thing. Like, we're still gonna do it, but like this is like, that's awesome. Okay, I gotta look it up now.
Yeah, I guess when they were at YG, they were asked what kind of light stick they wanted, and they said they wanted a middle finger, and YG was like, no, I'm not doing it. So when they started their own company, they were like, well, we're doing it now.
I've seen this one, yeah. It looks like a Mickey Mouse kind of also.
Yeah, it's like a kind of like a white glove Mickey Mouse hand middle finger thing.
That's so funny.
It's called the Park Hugh Bong, because the way that they pronounce it, it kind of sounds like fuck you.
Oh, nice.
So it's just 2 layers there.
That's like actually amazing. I'm like looking at it now. It's just so funny.
I know. I kind of want it.
I know. I'm like, that's just so funny.
But they, in the show, they were like giving them to people, like their guests and stuff, and they were like, it's a bit difficult to give to people because it's like giving you the finger, basically.
Here you go.
But like all the people that they were giving them to were like, no, I want this, I need this.
Yeah, that's amazing. Are you kidding? Like what I'm saying, it's so unique. Like you're like, I have a middle finger light stick. Like what are we talking about? That's so funny. It's so like extremely unique in that environment. Yeah.
Very hip hop, I would say. Kind of fits the vibe.
Yeah.
They have an idol greeting. It's always high, Epik High.
That's amazing. Again.
Like again, it's like kind of a reference to like.
That's why I'm like, they
must. They have to.
It's legal now here in Canada, so it's fine.
Yeah.
If they're in Canada.
But fun fact, it was actually created by Hongjoon from Ateez. Gave them that idol greeting.
What?
On like a radio show, they were like, we don't have one, and he like made it up for them, and then they kept using it, and when they use it, if people like mention it or whatever, they'll always like credit him basically, so they talk about him like quite a bit.
What?
I know. And other fun fact, there's a gesture that goes with it, and that was created by the boys. The gesture.
What?
The gesture.
Okay. Gesture.
Yeah.
Okay, whoa. Okay, wait. So this must be so much after though, so later in their career.
I think so. I think it's all kind of like after after 2018 when they had their own company, they started kind of like doing their own thing and stuff. And then yeah, some radio show they were on like within the last like few years, I guess. They were with Hongjoon and some people from The Boys, and they were just like, yeah, we'll make it up for you right here, right now. And then whenever they do it, they're like, oh yeah, like this is from Hongjoon, from Ateez, this is from The Boys.
Man,
I know.
We don't talk enough about, but we don't talk enough about how Hongjoon is like an actual genius. But anyway, that's fine.
I mean,
that's another whole conversation. But that's like, I couldn't even imagine being Hongjoon in that situation. Be like, this is Epik High. Like they're one of the most like iconic. I feel like sounds like what you're telling me. Two very unique bands in this space, and they're like, yeah, we love that idea. We're gonna use it all the time. Okay.
Yeah, and then like when they had Ateez on their show, they were like, yeah, we still use it. We like tell people that you made it up for us, and he's like, okay, what the fuck.
That's insane. And like The Boys too, like random.
Yeah.
Like that's so random.
So random, yeah. But it was like so interesting. I watched like this clip of them talking about it, and I was like, wow, they fully just like called out The Boys, called out Ateez. They're spreading the love.
We just need to get One Us in this mix now.
Yeah,
Let's
get them on a radio show apparently.
Yeah, jeez.
They have a fandom name. They've always had, like from the start. It's High School. Like SKOOL.
Of course.
And I heard like Tablo did Yoongie's show as well, and Yoongie was like, I've been in high school since like 20 whatever, like really early on.
Of course Yoongie would be.
I know. I was like, so they had literally used that, like, yeah, I'm high school.
Like, okay, alright.
Yeah. They have a fandom color, which is black, apparently. But those are like some basic facts for them. I'll go in reverse order because there's so much about Tablo.
Yeah.
So the Meether Jin is the youngest one, 1983.
Well, the youngest one?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, his real name is Choi Jin. I don't really know where the Mithra comes in. Like, he's the one I could find, like, the least about. Seems to be, like, the most private one. But he is the lead rapper, producer, lyricist, MC, and magne, if you want to refer to someone who's, like, 40 years old as a magne, but...
I mean...
what's
a magne? Always a magne of the group.
He was originally a poet.
Oh.
Cute.
Well, I guess that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. He was in another group before Epik High called the K Riders. I think it's sort of in that underground area. He's married to an actress, Kwon Daeun. They were married in 2015. I tried to look up what she was in. I didn't really recognize anything, but whatever. And they have one son from 2021.
Aww.
He enlisted in 2010 in his service.
Oh my gosh.
And he was part of the Defense Media Agency.
Interesting. Propaganda?
Yeah.
Propaganda.
I guess, yeah. And then, yeah, I couldn't find, like, credits for him, but, like, I know with Epik High, obviously he's, like, one of their main lyricists, so he at least has that many credits, however many Epik High songs there are. But that's kind of, honestly, basically all I could find out about him.
Yeah.
Like, he's really, like, in the show, he's very, like, quiet and, like, not as, like, crazy as the other two, I guess. So doesn't really, like, talk as much, but he's cute. Cute guy.
Cute.
And then the second middle child, I guess, is DJ Two Cuts, or Kim Jung-sik, 1981.
Okay. Tablo's the oldest?
Yeah.
Whoa.
I know, isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird in my brain.
I didn't really think that either, especially when you see them. Like, the other two like, kind of look older to me, but I don't know. He's a producer, turntablist, and he's engineer, and it says main dancer, but they don't really dance, so, like, I don't know what that's about. Like, they don't have, like, routines and stuff.
No.
It's a little misleading because I guess before he met them and stuff, he did break dancing. So. Oh,
so yeah, that's why I was gonna say. So maybe like he could do breakdancing.
Yeah, like I guess back in the day he used to be a break dancer, but like yeah, it's not really like a main dancer. Yeah, he doesn't really like sing and stuff like that. He basically just does like the DJing kind of stuff.
Right.
he was scouted by SM Entertainment after, well, I mean, I guess after winning a local dance competition, so with breakdancing, I guess.
SM has an obsession of just being at local competitions and just staring at children.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Who can dance decent, I guess. And then, yeah, he was, I guess, going to law school, but he dropped out of law school to pursue his breakdancing and DJing. He was mentored by some like famous DJ called DJ Rex, who is like widely recognized for pioneering that kind of stuff. So that's who his like mentor was. So, I mean, he's good at it. He's also married. He said he chased his wife for 10 years. I was like, okay, troubling.
Yeah.
But I think through like further context, it was like they met and he asked her out and she said no, and then like time passed where he didn't interact with her and then he met her again. Okay. Like it's like that, more like that kind of thing. Where I was like, it's not as troubling as it sounds.
Yeah, like when they were younger, and then like they reconnected. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think she's anyone famous. Like she didn't have like a credit or anything like that. But they were married in 2009, and they have one son and one daughter.
Oh. It's like just so nice to see that these idols like actually have lives. Like,
I know.
Nice.
And he really loves his like family. Like in interviews and stuff, he'll be like, "My wife's so beautiful," and like, "My kids are like so amazing." Like he really like he like before they had kids, I guess he would always be like, "My wife's like beautiful and I love her and I'm obsessed with her." And then when they had kids, they were like, "Do you like your wife more than your son?" And he was like, "No." It's like, my son's number one. So I was like, it's cute. Like he really like loves his family, like shows pictures of them and stuff and calls them and all this stuff. So
we love that.
And then his like Tablo said that they call each other like 20 times a day, like him and his wife. So I'm like, that's cute.
That's cute. That's nice.
He enlisted in 2009 as well, or not as well, but he enlisted in 2009. His enlistment was like pushed, I guess. They were like working on an album at the time, and then it got pushed up, so he had to enlist like while they were like mid album recording. Jeez. So the other two basically like promoted this album that came out then, like without him. Like they, I guess, would have like guests come in for like the DJing stuff, which is cute. But they intentionally did not use any scratching on that because it's his like signature or whatever.
Oh. That's cool. Well, I was just thinking, like, these are, like, really early enlistments, like, in comparison. Yeah. So, like, it must have been insane, because I heard, like, earlier enlistments are, like, rough, too. Yeah. And it's, there was, like, no, like, diversion. If you were 28, you, like, had to go do it. So that's what it sounds like. He was like, no, I'm not I have to go. Yeah, and they just had to figure it out. That's Sorry. So bonkers.
He was in the recon unit. Okay. And he actually has 122 Conca credits. That one I could find. Okay. So expand from there, I guess, to see how much the other two have. But like that's kind of all I could find for him too. So like a little bit more just with like his DJing and like
that's really cool.
B-boying stuff.
Sounds like he had a huge influence in the space.
Yeah, like it seems like very like ingrained in like the hip hop space in general. Like it's very like authentic, a very authentic hip hop vibe from them, just based on the stuff that they were involved in, which is fun. Next, Tablo. Ever heard of him? He's 1980, so 45 right now.
I know they're all married, but I'm like, that's still within the 10-year other way gap. So
I mean, 10 years the other way. His Korean name is Lee Seung Wong, and his English name is Daniel Armin Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
never
heard him referred to as anything but Tablo. And I think his like nickname is like Tata or something like that. Whatever.
I feel like when you I feel like that you say that, I feel like I for sure heard that, but
yeah. He's the leader.
Oh.
Main rapper, main vocalist, and the face of the group.
Yeah, I mean.
And then like you kind of alluded to, he was born in Korea, but I guess his family moved around a lot, and they did live in Vancouver. I guess around the time he was in second grade, and he became a Canadian citizen at 12 years old. I'm not really sure like how or why, but from like a child he was a Canadian citizen.
Yeah, I feel like just if you're naturalized, I feel like that's how it happens. But
I would assume it has something to do with school as well. If you're going to
Yeah.
school there, you must have to have something like that. So it was kind of sad though. It's like in some interviews he would say that he like struggled a lot with it because they moved around so much, so he like didn't really have any friends, and got to a point where they would move to a new place and he just like purposely wouldn't make friends because he knew he'd have to leave again soon, which is kind of like, it's sad to think because when you see him like interacting with people now, he's very like friendly and like outgoing and stuff, so like it's kind of tragic that he just didn't do that for so long. And he credits hip-hop as his outlet for getting through those tough times.
Well, yeah, I was like, okay, this is probably why he's like so into music.
Yeah. Yeah, he obviously speaks English and Korean, and he speaks like perfect English. To me, it's a lot like Joshua's English from 17. Like when you hear him switch over, like just a straight up American person, like no accent whatsoever. He went to Stanford. He has a bachelor's in English Lit and a master's in creative writing.
Jesus.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And then I think we kind of talked about this like offline before, but there was like this whole drama about his degrees for this because the Korean public considers hip-hop to be like, or at least they did, or this is what I read or whatever, I don't know, I'm sure not everyone feels this way, but they view hip-hop to be like less of an educational, like you can't have as high of an education if you're like a hip-hop artist. So the fact that he has like 2 literal like degrees from like notable universities, they were like, it's not true, like it's simply not true. And the fact that he speaks like perfect English, they were like, a guy that does hip-hop can't speak perfect English and have 2 degrees, like so bizarre. But there was like a huge like literally like an anti-campaign against him with like thousands of people in these like groups just like demanding like that he prove it or that he like apologize for like lying to them and like all this stuff. And it was like to a point where like his teachers would be like online being like, I literally taught him, like this is his work, and they'd be like, no, that's a different guy. Like it's like, not, I literally saw him in the flesh, I read his work.
That's like so insane. Like even to be like, prove it, and they're like, I was literally his teacher. No, you're lying. What
yeah,
are you
like no, it must
about?
be somebody else with the same name and the same face. Like what are you talking about?
Oh my god.
But yeah, apparently his IQ is 160, which is crazy.
Sheesh.
After all that, like they finally were able to like, I guess, crack down on this and like satisfy people to a degree where they like let it go, I guess. But only like 8 people out of like thousands and thousands ever like faced any consequences for like, what is it, defamating him or whatever.
Defamation, yeah.
And one of them was like a 50-year-old guy.
Like,
I was like,
what are
get
we
a
talking
life,
about?
like yeah,
What
what are we talking about?
Like I think there is that stereotype even, or like at least back in the day in North America with like hip hop, it's like, oh, it's a lesser art form, and you know,
Yeah.
only like
you're just less educated for some
Yeah.
reason, but like
So-
doesn't mean that you can't be educated.
No, I know. It's just like I could see where the potential stereotype came from, but like that goes with like anything. Like just because like sure maybe there's like I don't know. It's just like it is kind of a wild thing to be like,
Yeah.
and not only just believe that, but then to like go so far to create like an anti-group and be like, you're not that smart. You're like, what? Like
Yeah,
I just like what is that obsession? For what reason? Like that's
Yeah.
so weird.
I saw like a quote from him about it. He was like, once I proved myself as truthful and didn't succumb to this and kill myself, hopefully people will see that it's possible to defeat this. Just casually was like, didn't kill myself, so
Okay.
if I can do it, you can do it. It's like, okay, cool. And then like I think like obviously like heavily affected him because people were like trying to tear them down and like basically cancel Epik High. So he was like, after that point, basically thinks that every album and song is like gonna be the last one. So like pours like, I guess, heart and soul into every album because you never know. He does kind of make jokes about it now. Like I was watching one of their shows as like a photo card like competition. They try to find like the best, like craziest photo card. Which
Oh my
side
God.
note, the boys have like the most insane photo cards. There's one photo card of one of them. Literally, it's like the corpse bride, like full makeup corpse bride, and that's the photo card. And there's one where there's like the genie from Aladdin. Like, I was like, what are we talking about here? Like, insane. So those ones always win because they're like, these are crazy.
Interesting.
But one of his like kind of jokes about it was like, maybe I should release a photo card with like me holding my like diploma.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so like he kind of jokes about it now, I guess, but still, obviously, it was like a huge deal. But yeah, you should watch the photo card ones because
That sounds funny.
the boys are doing some crazy stuff out here.
I mean, I knew they were wild, but not that wild.
Yeah, it was crazy. He has two
Oh.
published books. One of them is a bestseller, 10 short stories written during his college career. And it's like pretty highly acclaimed by like other notable Korean authors and stuff like that. And then another one that is just like, it's a thoughts and statements. So like, I guess like kind of like a diary style.
Right.
But he personally gave a copy of that book to Namjoon, signed. Just fun fact.
Ever heard of him?
Ever heard of him? Because they've worked on a few songs. They have a few collabs together.
Right. Oh my God. Right. The Rain song. Right.
Yeah.
That was him. Jeez.
But then I think actually it might be on Indigo. There's a song with Tablo as well.
Oh, right.
Like they did a song like before as well, so they're friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said he's always loved writing, so he just like wanted to keep writing like books and stuff like that. So I mean, obviously creative writing degree, English lit degree.
Amazing. And now I'm just thinking about it. English lit. English! Not his first language. And he still got like a master's or whatever he said.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I know. It's that 160 IQ.
I mean, yeah.
Like, I think for context, I feel like I read somewhere that RM's IQ is 142. So,
Yeah.
like, that's crazy.
No,
I already think that RM's a genius.
Yeah.
He's also married to an actress, Kang Hee-jung, 2009. She was in Old Boy. That's the only thing I recognize that she was in.
Oh, like, okay, yeah.
And he has one daughter named Haru, which I think it's fine to like name her because he talks about her literally all the time.
Okay.
Like by name. He's always like Haru. Takes her everywhere.
Oh.
They're like best buddies.
Oh.
And they did some kind of like show together too. It was a variety show called The Return of Superman, and she was like on it as well with him.
Cute.
So like, yeah, so cute. Fun fact, he brought his daughter to Yoongie's show. And she was just like watching their interview or whatever. But I guess at the time she was doing some sort of like school paperwork about BTS. So she got to ask him directly like for information, and like he was saying after like when she had to like cite her sources, it was like
Ming Yoongie.
like,
Yeah.
sugar.
Yeah,
like period. Like straight from the source. Like how cool is that though? Like your dad just takes you to
Well,
whatever.
that is the privilege of celebrity. Being a celebrity
I mean,
child.
yeah. It's cute though. He had a podcast apparently for 2019 to 2020 called the Tablo podcast. He obviously didn't have to do service because he's a Canadian citizen, so he didn't do service. When the other two were in service is kind of when he started doing solo stuff. He actually joined YG first as a solo artist, and then when they were discharged, the group joined together after. He apparently has been diagnosed with manic depression. I'd not looked too much into it because it doesn't seem like he talks about it that much. I did find one interview where I guess he talks pretty openly about it, but
Okay.
and then yeah, like I said, I couldn't really find their credits, but I mean, if I'm to believe what I saw on that website, it's over 300. I
Yeah,
guess.
no doubt. Especially like Tablo, especially like not only like you say all of Epik High, but we already know ones that he's helped do. So
that's basically them. Just like other like things, all their wedding anniversaries are in October.
what?
They all got married in October.
That's awesome.
They have their YouTube show called Epik High, where they do like random stuff. Like I said, they had Ateez and Simon Pegg, and they have like other people on there. They did a really cute one where it was supposed to be an interview with Tablo and RM for Stop the Rain, but since RM was in service, they just had like a big cutout of him in the background.
Yes.
It was pretty cute. But it was like, man, if he wasn't in service, he totally would have been on there.
Yeah. Dang.
That would have been so fun. And then Yoongie and RM are apparently huge fanboys of Epik High. When they met, like the two of them, they were just like, that's how they like bonded, I guess, and they credit Epik High with like a lot of influence to BTS. Which makes sense.
I was gonna say those two especially are like the most hip hop funky, like different sounding solo music, so it totally makes sense like why they would be like the biggest fanboys.
Yoongie said he had been a fan since 2006, which I think is when the third album came out that like popped off.
Right.
And on the show, it was around their 20th anniversary, and Tablo was like, yeah, we're not really doing anything. And Yoongie was like, I mean, as a fan, I would like to see a 20th anniversary something. And he was like, oh, I guess like hearing it from like a fan, like a source like that, maybe we should do something. It's like, yeah.
The high schoolers need them.
Yeah, the high school needs them. And then I thought it was interesting how he even met Yoongie in the first place. He was working on a solo song for an artist named Lee Sora, and she asked Tablo to rap, and he didn't think that his rap style fit it, so he recommended Suga, but they had never met before. He just cold was like, this guy's rap seems like way better. And obviously, like, he was a huge fan, so when Tablo was like, do you want to do this? He was like, yes.
Yeah, 100%.
And he also, like, collabed on producing it as well, so it's like, they worked, like, literally together on this song.
So at that time, he asked for Suga, like, BTS was a thing? Like,
it was in 2017, so yeah.
So
they were, like,
okay, yeah.
Couple
so
years
I was like, how did
their...
he even know? But they were BTS.
He was like...
That'd be so nuts. Like, this guy's rapping style.
I know, how crazy. Like, just cold, they were like, hey, Tablo on the line. You want to collab on this song? You're like, yeah, obviously. I don't even know what you're talking about, of course.
Exactly. I'm doing it.
And you're already, like, a huge fan.
Yeah, insane. And you're like,
crazy.
I like your rap style.
Yeah.
Okay,
he was like,
sure.
I thought you would fit better on this. Like, damn. And then, like, now they're, like, buddies. They, like, hang out and stuff, obviously.
Nuts.
I guess notable collabs for us is, like, obviously the Stray Kids songs, the RM songs, the couple Suga songs. They did a collab with Jackson Wang. Ever heard of him? They did a collab with Hoshi from 17.
Oh.
Yeah, which was cute. Collab with Taeyang from Big Bang. But yeah, there's a lot of collabs on their Spotify as well, obviously. Yeah, that's basically it. No, they did their season's greeting thing is really cute. I saw like an old one that they had, and it was like they did all these like homages to like different like movies and stuff, like family photos where they're like dressed certain ways and stuff like that. I was like, this is actually like legit, like for a calendar. So I'm kind of curious to see maybe if they do that again. And then as a joke, at one point in time, everyone thought that for some reason, I guess people always assumed that G-Dragon was like their rival or like whatever. And as a joke, Two Cuts was like, no, my real rival is V for BTS.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's so
It was like, yeah, I was like, that's whatever, cute like little thing.
Yeah, well, that's pretty cool. They sound like a very unique section of the K-pop sphere, for sure.
Yeah, I was interested to try to listen to them because they are like literally just a hip hop group, which is, like I said, not really something that we listen to very much, but it's all like really good, like incredible music, obviously.
Yeah.
But if you go back in time, they kind of suffer from that like shiny vibe where like they start to look a little rough back in the day.
Oh yeah. Well,
but it's fun.
Time's a beast. Time gets us all. Well, it's exciting. Yeah.
They're on tour right now, so they're
Really?
still active. Yeah.
Wow.
They're just starting like an Asia tour or something right now.
Damn. Yeah.
Still active, still out there. They have like weekly episodes, I'm pretty sure, on their YouTube channel.
Also insane.
They talk about Ateez a lot.
That's so
like with this
fascinating.
In Your Fantasy thing on their Instagram, they've been like posting like In Your Fantasy like
Can you imagine?
reels, cross posting. I know. I was like, it's funny because in the show they did with Ateez, it was the three of them, and then they had Hongjoon, Mingi, and Yao Sang. And like the concept of their episode was finding like a younger brother, older brother, like within those people. And Tablo was like, what I'm looking for in a younger brother is like someone who will just like casually mention us, be like, oh, like, well, who are your influences? Like, oh, I really like Epik High, like that kind of thing. And he's like, and that's what I will do for you. And he paired up with Hongjoon at the end, and that's what he does. Literally, like they literally post like their stuff on Instagram. They're always like referencing him. I was like, that wasn't just talk, that was real.
Oh my gosh, that's so good. Well,
it was a really cute episode though. Like, it was fun to see them playing around.
oh man, yeah. Well, it sounds like I'll definitely check them out.
Yeah, give it a listen.
Give it a listen. Definitely worth it, even for just historical purposes, to like listen to it for context. They clearly have a lot of influence in like modern artists too. So
yeah, that's what it seems like. I also like I feel like anytime someone mentions them, like in other shows I watch, that everyone gets very excited when like Epik High comes up. Like, yeah, oh my god, I love Epik High.
oh my god, perfect.
Like, everyone's so excited because I've seen a few 17 things too where they're like, oh my god, I love them.
They're grand talent.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Well, thank you for the little breakdown.
So surface level info.
No, it's great. I love these little ones, especially like when you don't know anything. It's great. So yeah, take a listen, take a learn in history. These guys are clearly a big deal. Okay, and they're still around after 23 years or whatever. So
yeah, that's crazy to me. It's like,
yeah,
jeez.
Insane.
Yeah, that's Epik High. Always high, Epik High.
High schoolers here. That about wraps up the Epik High. And
yep.
We'll catch you on the flip.
We'll catch you on the flip.
Bye.